Good afternoon. I'm Charlie Tedisco, the chairman and CEO of Furious Fathers Incorporated, a non-profit corporation. Our purpose is designed and established to protect our children from social media and its predators. I'm also a partner of the law firm of Pruitt and Tedisco. I'm a husband, a father, a grandfather. Please visit us on our website at furiousfathers.org to learn more and to donate and help this cause today. This is video number 3 in our series. The title of today's video is Who's the Real Experts? I hope you visited our prior video number 1 and number 2, and we are attempting to post these videos once a week for our cause and to educate our fathers and parents to protect our children from social media and its predators. So who's the real experts in social media and its apps? Now, I do encourage fathers, mothers, grandparents, and all other adults to watch this video privately without children, preteens, teens, and even younger. I encourage you to watch this video privately so that you can understand and be educated as to what we've been talking about and how we're trying to pursue our cause against these predators and how it occurs. So who's the real experts in social media and its apps? Well, I can tell you honestly, it's not me. It certainly is not other fathers. It's not parents or grandparents. It's not teachers, pastors, psychologists, doctors, lawyers, construction workers. Nobody is an expert on these social media apps. Most adults have no clue. So if these people are not the real experts, then who is? Well, to be candid with you, your children are the real experts in social media and its apps. Here's 10 defined ways that teens and preteens hide their online activity. Most parents, most fathers have no clue as to what their children are doing or accessing on social media or any app, including Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, and so on. There's so many of them. But these teens and these preteens have ways to hide their own online activity. So pay attention to your child's behavior. Most teens and preteens tend to have a low self-esteem. They are looking at peers to be accepted. They have a low self-image. If you see them irritable, aggravated, staying in the room longer than they should, staying long periods of time on their phone, computer, even on the smart TVs, I want you to pay attention. Now, our last video, as you know, I talked about 9 ways to protect your children from social media and its predators. One of those ways that I tried to explain was that to talk to your child, to ask your child about these sites. Most children are reluctant to talk to their parents about these, which you may have already established. So here's 10 defined ways, which may be a shock to you. It's a shock to most. but tend to find ways teens and preteens, and remember preteens are 7, 8-year-olds, 12-year-olds, teens, 12, 13, all the way up to 18, 19. But 10 ways teens and preteens hide their online activity. Number 1, they clear their browser history. Number 2, they close or minimize their browser when you, as a parent, walk in a room. I imagine 95% of you have seen that. They hide or delete instant messages or videos. Number 4, they lie or omit details about online activities. So if your child tells you, I'm not doing any of that, when they're questioned about you, at least 35 to 40% of children worldwide lie or omit details about online activities. It's just the facts. Number 5, they use a computer that you as parents do not check. Number 6, they use an internet-enabled mobile device. That's number 6. The 7th way that teens and preteens defy and hide their online activity is they use privacy settings to make certain content viewable only by their friends, not by the parents. So they're only viewable by their friends or people who they think they're friends, but not by their parents. Number 8, they use private browsing modes, and I'll get into that in a minute. That's the 8th way that they hide their online activity. Number 9, they create private emails unknown to parents. That's probably shocking to most of you. But at least 20 to 30% of all children, preteens and teens, create private email addresses that are unknown to you. The 10th way is they create duplicate or fake social network profiles. So they act like they're actually 12, they act like they're 13 or 14, they put false addresses in there, false ages, not to forget the danger of giving details as to where you live, who your family is, who your father is, where you go to school, what your address is. So those are 10 ways. There are many ways, but those are 10 defining ways teens and preteens hide their online social media activity. So trust me that it is a pandemic that most, if not all, preteens and teens who have mobile phones, which most of them do, who have access to a computer, which most of them do, who have access to smart TVs, which most of them do, who have access to school computers, which most of them do. This is how they're hiding their activity from you. My next section is 7 common ways to bypass parental controls. Most parents could care less about parental controls, but other parents have parental controls, and once they set those parental controls, they think their children cannot be touched by unwanted content or social media predators, as I've described, who we are going after in our cause peacefully and with purpose. So here's 7 common ways that preteens and teens bypass parental controls. The first way is called proxy sites. A proxy site is a method of hiding their IP address from the websites that you visit. So most search engines, proxy sites are easy to use. If a teen, preteen, has been forbidden to use a site, okay, so you as a parent have instructed your daughter to not go on Instagram or not go on Snapchat, then they can simply enter the website into a proxy site search, and it will route them the request to an external server. So this way, your preteen and teen can access the site without a trace that they even visited the site, and you have no idea that they did. That's the first way that they bypass your controls. The second way is VPNs. VPNs are similar to proxy sites, okay? So a VPN is a virtual private network. It's able to redirect your preteens and teens traffic through an external server. So I don't want to make this real complicated, but it's just common sense. I know I use external server, but just pay attention to the process, how they bypass your parental controls and defy your instructions, because they do. So a VPN redirects their traffic through an external server. So where it differs from a proxy site that I mentioned in number one, the proxy site can only be routed web traffic through a server, okay, through a server. A VPN can route all of their network traffic, okay? So using a VPN, your child can encrypt their searches so that they are not traceable. Okay, let me give you an example. Most school computers, when children get them at the beginning of the year, they are forbidden to use those computers for anything other than their schoolwork. In fact, most school systems throughout this country and worldwide have certain setups that if they try to visit a site like Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, any of those, most sites, then their school computer would not allow them to access that site. Okay, so what do? You may hear some language, or you may have heard about a VPN, or your child may have asked you, Mama or Daddy, I want a VPN. Okay. So a VPN, if they have a VPN through an app, then they can access that VPN through the school computer to their entire social media network, so that you never know. You don't check a school computer. You just know that the school does not allow that information to be accessed by your child through that school system. But they, preteens and teens, use a VPN while they're sitting in class to access these social media apps, chat with strangers and potential online predators that would cause substantial harm to your child. The third common way that they use to bypass your parental controls is called a DNS program. Okay, and that stands for Domain Name System. It's like a phone book of the internet because it holds all the information for domains. Okay. A quick search can provide you with an IP address of any site. Okay, so many parents use programs that allow you to filter which of these sites can be accessed at home. Okay, great. Preteens and teens can bypass these protections by using other public DNS servers or installing their own router. Simple to them. They're the experts. We're clueless. The fourth way that they use to bypass parental controls is public Wi-Fi. Teens are especially savvy when it comes to finding Wi-Fi. Preteens as well. They can log into a public Wi-Fi as well as a friend or neighbor's Wi-Fi at school, next door neighbor. These foreign networks probably most of the time do not have the same security settings that you've placed, that yours does. So it allows your children free reign when accessing websites. So don't think for a second that they don't use their friend's phone to access these sites at school, outside school activities, at church, wherever. The fifth way is private browsing modes. There's a private browsing mode like in private, or another one called incognito. And these allow children to browse without tracking their history. Okay, so if you wanted to track their history as to what websites they searched, if they have a private browsing mode like incognito, which is one of the most popular ones, they have free reign, and there's no tracking of their history. So you wanted to see, they'll show you the phone. You can't find anything. You think everything's okay. It's not the case. Your children often use this to throw you off when attempting to reach inappropriate sites. Number 6 common way that preteens and teens bypass your parental controls is related images searches. Okay, sounds complicated. Not. So if your preteen or teen are clever, which most of them are, very savvy, because they're the experts related to this issue as to social media and its apps and how to access them, they may have figured out that the sites that are blocked on Google aren't blocked on Google Images. Okay, and this is why I don't want you to share or watch this video with your children. They're the experts. We're the ones who are trying to prevent our children from being harmed by social media and its predators. So they know, we don't. But this is what they do. So they know that these sites that are blocked on Google aren't blocked on Google Images. So if they enter a search in Google, even in a private browsing, and then click on the image tab, they can get by any safe search feature that is set up. It's just a fact. That's how they do it. The seventh way is the seventh common way, and there are many, but there's 7 common way to bypass parental controls that preteens and teens do, is internet doorways. So internet doorways refer to many ways you can access the internet, okay, aside from a search engine. So these non-traditional methods include apps. So there's apps to get to apps in video games that allow internet access. So your child goes on a game, Fortnite, for example. They can access the internet from that game, even if you have a parental control on it. So many apps have search features that allow you to browse the web unfiltered. So that's what these preteens and teens are doing. So these are 7 ways. So the video games can have also have search features. So these are 7 ways that preteens and teens are bypassing your parental controls. So in summation, I've explained 10 defined ways teens and preteens hide their online activity. And then I've given you 7 common ways that teens and preteens bypass parental controls. Teens and preteens are the experts in social media and its apps. And it is a pandemic in this country and worldwide. And I don't know of any parent or any children, particularly preteens or teens, that do not have access to a cell phone, computer, smart TV. And this is how they are getting around the rules because they have no clue that they could be victims of social media and its predators. In concluding, I'm asking you to visit our website at furiousfathers.org to learn more about us. Go to our education section, our resource section. We even have a shop that you can actually shop for shirts, hats, all types of items with our logo on it to support this cause. We are a nonprofit organization, a 501c3 organization, and we need your help to prevent children, our children, your children, from becoming victims of social media and its predators. This is how it starts. This is how it begins. This is how these social media predators communicate with your child, most of them, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, trying to groom your child who's having issues related to low self-esteem or being bullied, to groom them to their grasp and eventually getting them to meet them and pick them up. And I've given y'all some examples in the past as to what happens once that part occurs. Okay, so we've got to prevent that from happening to our children. We just got to do it. Again, to the predators that are out there watching this, hearing about us, which you're going to, we operate peacefully and lawfully, but we're coming after you. There's no question this organization will thrive, and we will wipe you out peacefully and lawfully under the law. Our contact phone number is 205-259-8485. Call us. Our mailing address is 64 6th Avenue, Asheville, Alabama, 35953. Our email address is furiousfathers@gmail.com. You can visit us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr. Donate today. You can donate one time. You can donate a recurring monthly amount. Our website is fully up and functioning, and we're proud of it. You can contact us through our blog. You can contact us by phone, by email. Any questions that we can answer for you, we'll be glad to. Look, we're not naive, so if you have a question and I can't get the answer to it, I promise you I have experts that can get the answer to me and I can get it to you. We'll figure this out. We will fight with all we have to protect our children from social media and these predators. It is real. It's very real. Thank you all for your help and thank you all for your support. Together, I promise you, we can wipe out this worldwide pandemic and its predators that live in it. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.